coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
I know you're not supposed to say, but from my sources, and I know you've got a lot higher level than I do, you're up there at the Capitol, that they have substantive groups here in the U.S., and that this could be a way to basically blackmail Obama, because Obama now knows if there's terror attacks, and Susan Rice and others helped create this current group, that they're going to get the blame for it. Couldn't we have high-level blackmail already going on?
Oh, I'm seeing, Alex, the same basic patterns I saw right before 9/11 regarding our work, and you mentioned Stratus Ivy and Able Danger. I am seeing the same neglect, the same wishful thinking at the policy level, where, they may have stealth here, but they won't really do anything to hurt us. That is what I'm hearing, and I think you have to believe. I don't know this for a fact, but you have to believe that there may be something like that going on, because what president, what policy-making body would ever allow known adversaries to to walk freely within our border simply because they think that, if we, we'll leave, if they leave us alone, we'll leave them alone. That was the naive thinking that resulted in the 9/11 attacks. And I'm telling you right now, it may not happen this 9/11, it may not happen the next 9/11, but we are literally allowing the conditions to be created which are going to allow the next 9/11, which I would predict is going to be far more severe, far more catastrophic than the 9/11 attacks that have ever been. I think those of us who have studied this and recognize the vulnerability understand that the southwest border, as much as kids coming across are a tug at our heart, Alex, the issue is not the kids. It's about the fact that other nefarious folks, drug cartels, terrorist groups are going to use the southwest border to get their people in here.
I've been critical of Rick Perry on a lot of issues, but they've indicted him for holding back money from a drunk, crazy person while he is covertly trying to secure the border. I have to commend him and the state police. He's actually trying to secure the border, and he's been indicted. I mean, it's almost like the Democrats are secretly allied with al-Qaeda or something.
Well, this goes back to our conversation about the Brotherhood. Let me be very clear on this. The Muslim Brotherhood has penetrated every aspect of our governance, every aspect, Alex. They have influence in the media. They have influence on Capitol Hill. They have been able to go through in DOD, and basically the reason we can't call Islamic radicalism is because they have done this Orwellian thing. And I have a friend of mine who told me this, that the DOD was forced to remove all references to radical Islam because of Brotherhood influence over the FBI and DOD. While we've been fighting al-Qaeda in the battlefield and winning, these folks have been working behind the scenes to subvert all of the governance we hold dear. And again, I hope your audience understands I'm not being overblown on this. Their influence is real. And again, this is why General al-Tohimi and now President al-Sisi outlawed the Brotherhood in Egypt.
I know you're not supposed to get into this because you can get in trouble because of the commander-in-chief, but those same people were interviewed by WorldNet Daily and confirmed Obama's cousin Odinga, the prime minister down in Kenya, is making all this money and is reportedly sending hundreds of millions up there financing it, and Obama is directly involved.
Well, I don't know that for a fact, but let me tell you this little tidbit, Alex, that I think your audience needs to understand. Just a few days before I met with al-Tohimi, General al-Tohimi, the chief of Egyptian intelligence, John Brennan was there. John Brennan, our director of CIA. So one of the things that General al-Tohimi brought up to me is that he had brought up to John Brennan their issue with the Muslim Brotherhood. And al-Tohimi, the chief of their intelligence, asked John Brennan directly, why don't you help us attack the Brotherhood? Why don't you outlaw the Brotherhood just like we're about to do? And by the way, they have done it. And so al-Tohimi didn't really tell us what Brennan said, so I asked him, I said, with all due respect, General, what did John Brennan say to you when you said that, the Brotherhood's an enemy? What was his reply? He stiffened up, Alex, in his chair, looked at me sternly and said, John Brennan laughed in my face. Now think about that. Our director of CIA laughed at the chief of intelligence of Egypt because he was told that the Brotherhood is a threat. And that tells you...
Oh, the Brotherhood was blowing up churches, crucifying people, attacking military bases, trying to blow up the Suez Canal last year that forced the military to go after them. When they got power, they had a reign of terror in Egypt.
That's correct. And so
the Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
From the water table to our soils to the atmosphere itself, our world is becoming more and more toxic each and every day. But it's not just the air outside that's toxic. Indoor air has been shown to have 2 to 5 times higher concentrations of pollutants than even outdoor air. And most Americans spend 90% of their time inside using toxic chemicals within their homes. There are more than 42 million smokers in the United States. Well over 1,000 types of mold and mildew linked to numerous conditions. And don't forget the fact that 6 million Americans live with pets they're allergic to as well. When I began to research these statistics, it was clear to me it was time to start cleansing my lungs in order to combat the toxic environment that we cannot escape but that we can fight back against. Made with organic and wild cultivated herbs and manufactured in the USA, the new InfoWars Life Lung Cleanse is here in a convenient spray bottle that can be brought with you throughout any toxic environment. Now available exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
You know, I want to start this historic fourth hour, first live show broadcast that we've done for the radio out of the new studio. We've done a lot of live shows on the nightly news and expanded coverage. I want to start it by giving people watching on television a shot of the new control room that I wanted to be basically a TV set in and of itself so that we can have roundtable discussions and meetings and special broadcast in the control room. And that control room runs 2 other studios in the building because when I'm done, I plan to have probably 3 or 4 TV shows a day out of here. And, of course, my main radio show and other specialty transmissions. That's been my plan all along. I've been so busy over the years doing the radio show, the films, the nightly news, that I've never really realized all that. I never had the capital that Glenn Beck did. But I'm glad that Glenn Beck took our new media model that even mainstream media has said was developed by us in the last 15, 16 years since we started doing this and been so successful with it. I do not intend to have 24-hour shows or 24-hour radio shows to actually challenge Clear Channel and Premiere and the old radio platforms itself. But I do want to have morning, noon, and night live shows, special reports, bulletins, and so much more, so that it's not just Alex Jones here on the radio and on television giving you my unique perspective on the world, but that it's other liberty lovers and other great minds, if I could say I have a great mind, other people that love liberty, and that's a great mind to me, that's a beautiful mind, to really be able to challenge the globalist in real time. So that if there is a big terrorist attack or a new war starts or the stock market crashes or Ebola gets to the United States, you're already seeing the nightly news when something big happens. It won't just be taped to air 7 to 7:30. Then they'll go live for 2 more hours or 3 more hours. And then I'll drive into the studio and I'll be here, or I'll Skype in from home, or we'll Skype in where we have correspondents all over the country giving us intel, giving us information. That's my goal, and we have really developed over the years, finally, a team of great, dedicated people who are doing this from the ground up. We don't have big corporate consultants. We are literally reinventing the wheel because the old media complex was so incredibly corrupt. And so we'll work out the bugs, work out the kinks, but I tell you, so far, the whole crew is just doing a bang-up job, and I'm so honored to be here. And I love in the control room, because I came up with this look, notice you've got George Washington there in the middle, and you've got the "Don't Tread on Me" in Latin, and then you've also got the Spartan helmet, Molon Labe. And I think that basically says what we stand for here. Individual strength, individual liberty, sacrifice for freedom, not backing down, embracing the true Americana ideas that have made this nation so great in a sea of evil. America has lots of problems, has done lots of terrible things. But we've also have been exceptional in many other ways. So many other countries that call us evil and corrupt, they just do that because they're not as good at being evil and corrupt as America has been. Now, I'm not proud of America being good at being evil and corrupt. But what I will tell you is I want to go back to us being honorable, and not that we were ever perfectly honorable, but known for doing what we'd say we do, for being more chivalrous. America was kind of the rebirth of chivalry that had died in the last 500, 600 years in Europe. There was a strain of that. And so I want to embrace the better angels of humanity, as a statesman once said, and try to strive for something better. That's our goal here. And this is our first, again, live transmission out of the TV studio for the radio show since we began building this facility about a year ago. And really, it's just a room to have guests in and to be able to break down over there on the television screen specifics of what are happening with maps and presentations. This is just to communicate better with you. It only signifies and is a token of the larger operations that we're going to carry out and much bigger things we're going to build, so that we're not just reaching 20 million people a week. As many as 5 million of those being new listeners who come through. We have about 15 million that are a staple that tune in at least a few times a week. But 20+ million people on all our platforms, podcasts, YouTube, terrestrial radio is the biggest chunk, over 170 AM and FM affiliates, global shortwave WWCR. We were censored off Sirius XM openly because of our political statements and what we have to say. But so was other mainline libertarians and conservatives as well. Just like you see the harassment of Breitbart by the IRS now openly, there is an attempt to shut down anything that isn't completely statist. Not that mainline Republicans are good, not that Breitbart's even perfect, but that for the system that says your children don't belong to you, 2 + 2 = 5, it is a threat because it believes in private property, because the libertarian conservative movement is being radicalized by patriots like yours truly. Time Magazine has said that twice, that I'm the mad prophet of the Tea Party. You can Google it. Alex Jones is the mad prophet of the Tea Party, energizing and radicalizing. And, oh, don't radicalize yourself or you'll lose elections. The truth is, you have to be radical to meet a radical threat. To radicals that think parents aren't parents and that the state is God, for me to believe in free market and liberty, that is like space alien weird, like I've got 5 heads. That's not really radical, though. But to these radicals, of course, I'm like a fire-breathing demon or something. Because I don't buy anything they say when Obama says that ISIS isn't Islamic or there's no boots on the ground, because there are boots on the ground. The AP even admits it. That's the thing. They don't even care about getting mainstream media in line with their lies anymore. It has reached a crazy level of proportions. But what do you expect? What do you expect to happen here in this culture and in this society when